Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Saturday, February 10th. We got a 6-game slate today on this Saturday. Like always, before we get started, looking at this slate and going through each position, if you guys could drop a like on the video, I would really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button so you'll never miss out on any of my new uploads. But yeah, guys, starting off at point guard on today's 6-game slate, looking up top here, not a position I'm really trying to pay up at today. At least early looks at this slate, don't think I'm going to be paying up. You got Steph Curry here, Ben Simmons, Lou Williams. Just don't think these are guys I'm trying to jam in. Curry's going up against the Spurs. Not the best matchup in my opinion. Don't really like taking guys against the Spurs. Ben Simmons is going up against the Clippers. That is a much better matchup, but I don't want to pay $8,500 for Simmons. I think Lou Will would probably be my favorite guy. If you want to go to him, you can, but I think point guard, this mid-tier is where we really want to go today. You got Eric Bledsoe at $7,100 in this mid-range. He seems just a tad bit underpriced. This is a great matchup. Going up against the Magic, not the best defensive team against the point guard. And Bledsoe's price is one thing that really sticks out to me. I think it's pretty likely he's able to pay off this price. You need about 36 DK points from him to return value on this salary. Pretty likely he's able to do that. So I do like him in that mid-range. And one of my 5 plays is going to come from this mid-range. Love Jamal Murray here. Just $6,500 in a great matchup against the Suns. Love taking point guards against the Suns. Just love attacking the Suns in general. Their defense is so bad. So I'm going to be loading up on some Nuggets today. Jamal Murray is a guy that I really like from the Nuggets. He's done well against the Suns this year. Through 2 games, he's averaged 34 DraftKings points against them and has played an average of 30 minutes. So he's been solid against the Suns this year. It's a great matchup. Murray has a pretty nice price of $6,500. I think it's likely he's able to pay this off. And Murray is a guy that has a lot of upside. He can get you, easily get 6, even 7x on this price, especially given the matchup. Really like him in that mid-range. You could go to the other side and go with Alfred Payton, making his debut as a Sun today. It looks like Devin Booker will probably miss again. Tyler Ulis is also questionable. If Booker and Ulis both miss today, that's going to be a lot of minutes for Alfred Payton. He should have to play 30-plus minutes, and Denver does struggle to defend point guards. You could play Payton there. You could play DSJ against the Lakers. That's also a great matchup, especially if Isaiah Thomas makes his debut, which it looks like he's going to. I have a good feeling IT is going to play off the bench, but we know how bad of a defender he is. If DSJ is going to be guarded by IT at any time in this game, I definitely do want to have some DSJ exposure. Really think point guard is this mid-range is where we really want to go today. And there's also value at this position as well. I do like Josh Hart here at $5,300 as somewhat of a value play. He's been playing so well lately. His last 4 games, he's gotten the minutes, has played over 31 minutes in his last 4 games, and has put up 40, 36, 39, and 31 DK points. The minutes have been there. The production's been there. With IT coming to this team, you will think that's going to cut into Hart's minutes just a tad bit. But I still see him playing at least 27, 28, 29 minutes. I think he plays 30 minutes most likely, even with Isaiah Thomas coming to the Lakers. So I do like Hart as a cheap play you can go to for value. I think he definitely makes sense here at $5,300. There are also value plays we can't consider sub 5K. You could play DJ Augustine here at $4,700 going up against the Bucks. Now that Alfred Payton's on the Suns, DJ Augustine is going to be the starting point guard for the Magic. And in the last game he started for Payton, he did play 35 minutes against the Hawks and put up 40 DraftKings points. Had a very nice game, so you can go to Augustine for value. But I think there's a really clear play here. Just very, very cheap. Patty Mills, just $3,800 in a matchup against the Warriors. I think Patty Mills, a great value play today. We've already gotten news that Dejounte Murray and Tony Parker are both going to be out today, so Patty Mills should be looking at close to 30 or more minutes here. I would say it's pretty likely he's going to start at point guard since Parker and Murray are both out. The minutes should be there. Fast-paced game against the Warriors, playing up in pace. You do like to see that. Mills should easily be able to crush value on this price. And that's one of the reasons I don't really like paying up at this position, just because there's so many good value plays here. You got Mills, sub 5K. You got Augustine, sub 5K. You got Hart, just a little bit over 5K at $5,300. And then there are good mid-tier plays like DSJ, Murray I really like, Bledsoe and Payton, 2 guys as well. Point guard pretty loaded from sort of the mid-range and down. So let's go ahead and look at shooting guard today. You could pay up here if you do want to play Bradley Beal against the Bulls. That is a really good matchup. Beal is $9K, which does seem like a lot to pay for him. He did put up a 70-burger earlier this year against the Bulls, played 44 minutes. Pretty likely that game went to overtime if he played 44 minutes. but he did have a monster game earlier this year against the Bulls. You could play Beal if you want to pay up for him on this slate. But I think Giannis is the guy I want to pay up for today. We'll talk about him when we get to small forward. I think I just want to take the guy that's going to be the highest overall projected on this slate and just lock him in. There's a lot of value on this slate I see, so we're going to be able to pay up for at least one or two studs if that's what you want to do. There aren't a lot of studs over 10K. Really, Giannis is the only guy over 10K, and then the next most expensive guy is Embiid. So you could play Giannis. You could play Giannis, Curry, maybe even like 3 of these 9K guys, because I see a lot of value, especially with the Spurs. And with all these trades happening, a lot of guys are still a little bit underpriced for their new roles, like DJ Augustine. It's a good value on this slate. Definitely going to be able to fit in a stud. And Bradley Beal, if you do want to pay up for him, you could do that if you want to play him at shooting guard. But looking to the mid-range here, I think this is another position where we can find some mid-tier plays. Going back to Denver, going to be getting as much exposure to the Nuggets as I can today. So Gary Harris at 6,500 is a guy that I really like from this mid-range at shooting guard. Great matchup. Done really well against the Suns this year. Through 2 games, he's averaged 42 DraftKings points against them and has played an average of 33 minutes. We know the minutes are going to be there for Gary Harris as long as it's a competitive game. You do have to worry about this game blowing out, but I'm not really going to fade a guy because of blowout. I never really like doing that. Just play guys, don't worry about blowouts. So Harris, Jokic, Murray, all these guys are great plays today. And especially Harris and Murray, just because I feel like they are a tad bit underpriced given the matchups. So they are 2 guys I like from Denver. 2 guys you can play at shooting guard and point guard. And I think both of them do have a lot of upside here. I think if I'm going to that price range, that 6K range, Harris is the guy I want, at least at shooting guard. Like, you could play Barton here if you want to do that. You can maybe play Klay Thompson. He seems a tad bit underpriced, but like I said, Harris the guy I want there. In this 5K range, I think it's pretty simple here. Josh Hart's the guy that really sticks out to me. Maybe if you want to do the J.J. Redick revenge going against his former team, the Clippers, you could do that, but I would prefer Hart there at 5,300. And I think the same value stands out here as it does point guard. The guys that are shooting guard eligible I talked about at the last position. Augustine you got, 4,700 I believe. Patty Mills is shooting guard eligible, so you could play him at this position if you're going cheap here. You could also play Brian Forbes. He could be looking at some nice minutes here. He's point guard and shooting guard eligible, just 3,600. With Murray and Parker both out, you would think Forbes is probably going to play 25 to 30 minutes. And at 3,600, pretty likely he's able to pay off this price tag. So another guy you can use if you're trying to save some money at shooting guard. That's what I'm seeing at this position. So let's go ahead and move on to small forward. And look up top here. You got Giannis and KD both up top at this position. Like I said, back to shooting guard. Love Giannis here going up against the Magic. Just going to lock in the overall projection, the high projection that Giannis has. It's a short slate, just a 6-game slate, so raw points really matter. And anytime there's a lot of value and I can fit in a stud, it's something I want to do. I'm not saying Giannis is going to go off for like 80 DraftKings points today, but I can definitely lock him in for 45 to 50 here. And anytime I can lock in a guy to give me that amount of points, love that in cash games. We know Giannis has tournament upside, so you can play him in both formats. It's pretty easy to fit Giannis in today. Pretty easy to fit in 2 studs just with all the value I see. So definitely going to be locking Giannis into probably my cash game lineup. Definitely going to be starting with him, Patty Mills, 2 guys I'm going to be building my cash game lineup around. Just love Giannis as a stud play. Love Mills as a cheap value option as well. And then looking for other small forwards, if I'm not playing Giannis here, you could go to this mid-range, another position that does have mid-range plays. TJ Warren's going to be a really good option if Devin Booker's out. He's only 6,400. He'll be a really good play you could go to in this mid-range. You could also play him at power forward if you are paying up for Giannis here. You could play Wes Matthews if Harrison Barnes misses. Matthews been playing well with Barnes out. But I would much rather just get up to Warren. If Booker misses, Warren's really the guy I want from this mid-range. And then the value plays here. If Aaron Gordon is out again today, you could play Hazonia at 5,500 as a value play. I think that's really it for cheap value at small forward. I think we're definitely going to be looking to pay up for Giannis here or play like TJ Warren in this mid-range, Wes Matthews. These are the guys I really see. If you want to play Ingram, 6,800, you could do that. But small forward, I'm really penciling in Giannis at this position. So moving on to power forward, and looking up top here, you got LaMarcus Aldridge, 8,200 in a matchup against the Warriors. I do like LMA here. If the Spurs want to win this game or have a chance of winning this game, keeping this game close, LaMarcus Aldridge probably going to be a big reason why. He did put up 49 DraftKings points earlier this year against the Warriors, played 35 minutes, so he had a solid game against them. And we know without Kawhi off the court, LaMarcus Aldridge going to take a ton of shots, going to have the opportunity. He's put up over 50 DraftKings points in 2 straight games, so he's been playing well. And if it's a competitive game, the minutes are going to be there for Aldridge. Do really like paying up for him at power forward. Definitely a stud I'm probably going to be trying to pencil in. If I can fit him and Giannis in, which I think I will be able to today with all the value, I will be trying to do that, especially in cash games. But looking at other power forwards, I think you can always consider Draymond Green if you're going to pay up at power forward. Even though this isn't the greatest matchup, Draymond just always gives you a solid floor. He's always a good cash play. I'd rather get up to Aldridge because I feel like Aldridge maybe has a little bit more upside and a little bit more of a safer floor, but Green is definitely a pivot there if you want to do that in tournaments. Also, as sort of an option you could pay up for, Julius Randle, 7K going up against Dallas. Great matchup here. Dallas, so bad defensively against bigs. This is a spot where Randle could absolutely go off. He did put up 42 DraftKings points earlier this year against the Mavericks and played 33 minutes against them, had 23 points and 15 rebounds, also got 2 assists as well. Now that Larry Nance is on the Cavaliers, that should free up a few more minutes for Julius Randle. He did only play 28 minutes with Nance off in their last game. Nance wasn't active in that game. Randle only played 28 minutes against OKC, but was a blowout. The Lakers did win that game by 25 points. You would think if this game against the Mavericks does stay close, Julius Randle's probably going to play 30 or more minutes, and anytime Randle gets over 30 minutes, you always have to consider him. Even though his price is up to 7K, I do really like him as a power forward play that you can pay up for. And you obviously have these mid-tier plays I've already mentioned, like TJ Warren, who is a really good option if Devin Booker misses. But then trying to find maybe some value here at power forward, you could play Mario Hezonja, like I said earlier. If Aaron Gordon's out today, you could go to him for value. You could play Dirk. I know Dirk's coming off a monster game against the Warriors, where he put up 47 DraftKings points. This is a great matchup here against the Lakers, but you always worry about the minutes for Dirk if he's going to play 25, 26, 27 minutes, or if he's only going to play like 20 minutes. But if he does get the minutes against this Lakers team, Dirk could be a value play that you want to go to. So 5,200 as a cheap option at power forward. You could play him here. But the one value play that really stands out to me at power forward, sub 5K, just 4,900, Dwight Powell in a matchup against the Lakers. Love Dwight Powell today as a value option. Him and Patty Mills are probably 2 of my favorite value plays on this slate. Talking about Dwight Powell, been so solid lately. The minutes have been there for him. He's played 31, 29, and 31 minutes his last 3 games. 31, 27, and 32 DraftKings points. So the minutes have been there. The production's been there. He's been starting lately. And this is a great matchup today against a Lakers team that is not good defensively, that does play at a fast pace. Dallas will be playing up in pace here. Love Powell as a cheap option. I think he's still a tad bit underpriced. I think he's easily able to pay off this price tag and does give you tournament upside to where he can get possibly 7x on this price. So if you're going cheap at power forward or center, Powell is an option that really sticks out to me, just 4,900. But yeah, guys, moving on to center. And looking up top here, you got Embiid, Jokic, both up top at this position. I do worry a tad bit about Embiid here. The Sixers are on a back-to-back, but Embiid is going to be playing on back-to-backs, it looks like, for the rest of the year, so he's going to play today. But I think I'd rather go to Nikola Jokic if I'm going to pay up at this position. Jokic is another stud. Him, Giannis, and Aldridge are probably my favorite studs on this slate. Just such a good matchup for Jokic. This Phoenix team, just not good defensively. Definitely like taking guys against them. Jokic's price has started to catch up a bit. He is now over 9K. He's 9,300. If he was like 81, 82, 8,300, I think Jokic would be a lock. But with him being over 9,300, you do have to think about it. If you can fit him in today, which you should be able to, I think he's worth this price tag. He can easily have a monster game here against the Suns defense. And if I'm paying up at center on the slate, Jokic is the guy I want. I think I would prefer him over Embiid today. But looking at other center plays that I haven't already mentioned, not seeing a lot of mid-range plays that I haven't already talked about. Like you could play Randle at center. DeAndre Jordan maybe if you want to go there. He's probably going to have to play a ton of minutes. They're going to need him to guard Embiid, but I think there are better options. I'd rather get up to Randle. Not sure if I'm going to be on Jordan. So maybe looking for the value here at center. I think John Henson against the Magic does make sense as a value play. This Magic team does really struggle to defend the center. Henson did put up 33 DraftKings points in only 29 minutes against the Magic earlier this year. Henson is coming back from injury. He did play Friday night. The Bucks are on a back-to-back. I would imagine Henson's going to play today. When he's gotten the minutes, he's been getting the minutes before he got injured. He was playing 30 minutes a night, and he was being able to hit value. And this is a great matchup today against a pretty bad Magic team at defending centers. So I like Henson if you're going cheap here, just 5,300. I think he does make sense as a value option. But that's really what I'm seeing for the value plays at center. You can obviously play Dwight Powell if you're going cheap here. Love him today. He's center eligible. You can play him at 4,900 at this position. But yeah, like I said, guys, I think that's pretty much it for center. I think that's pretty much it for this position. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully it helped you. If it did help you, just make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or just leave a comment down below. I'll get back to your question as soon as I can. Leave a comment. If you have anything to say about this slate, just giving some of your thoughts. Always like to go through the comments, so any thoughts or opinions you have, feel free to leave them down below. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.